Hi, this is Derek Murphy from creativity.com. Recently, I've been helping a couple of clients with projects that are similar to things that I have a lot of interest in. I'm doing a few about publishing in Kindle books and selling and marketing. I'm doing another one several actually, about um, content marketing and being a digital nomad, starting an online business, living abroad, traveling. The kind of what's very popular right now is the lifestyle design business where you move around the world running an online business, and your online business is teaching other people how to move around the world and start online businesses, which is a successful business model. You build up a platform around yourself, but it's also a little bit weird and a tiny bit like a pyramid scheme because even though there's a lot of room, you're kind of just teaching other people to replicate the system. The thing that you're teaching, if you're in lifestyle design business, is just how to start an online platform that gets followers and builds trust and loyalty, so that people will listen to you, they'll buy your packages, your services, your products. You can do coaching, you can charge by the hour, or you can have ebooks. No matter, I mean, there are different ways to make money online, and so for some ways, like if you're drop shipping or if you're buying stuff from China and selling it on eBay or Etsy, um, there's ways to make money without having your own platform. It's not what I do, but a lot of people do it, and you can make a lot of money that way. I know people who find products and they sell them on Amazon. They make millions of dollars that way. There are ways to do that. What I'm more interested in, and what I think you might be interested in if you're an author or an artist, so that means you're developing your own creative work, and that means people will naturally be interested in you because um, for books it doesn't matter as much. People read nonfiction for the information. If it's good information, they don't really care who the author is. Although if you have a big platform because you're already famous, it'll really help your book sales. People read fiction to be entertained. Um, for good writing, but writing is not really the selling point. It's the story for fiction. It has to be a good story. You can have a great story with bad writing and still be very successful because the story matters more than the writing style, except for literary fiction where the writing style matters more. But literary fiction isn't that popular, and it's not a smart investment if you want to write books to make money. Um, Literary fiction isn't where where I'd put my eggs in the basket. It's not a smart choice. It's fun to write if you're that kind of writer who likes um, fancy languages, fancy language, big words. Um, what's the word? Liter Litophile, literature file. I don't know, bibliophile. Anyway, um, if you're writing as a hobby, as a passion project, I'm not saying you can't be successful with a literary fiction book. You can be successful. I don't think you'll make a lot of money with it. I think you could make a lot more money publishing a lot of serial pulp fiction books, which is what I plan to do. Um, but I'm getting off topic. If you want to make a creative business, if you want to sell more books or paintings, and I was saying that if you're writing books, on the one hand, your author persona is not quite as important, but on the other hand, if you're building an author identity, if you're building a career as an author and you plan to write a lot of books, you need to build a platform where you're attracting your ideal readers to come to you and to find you with natural traffic so that you don't have to do any promotion or marketing. Um, they find you and you get them on your list so that you can contact them when you have new books out, which gives you the power and makes your life much easier and makes your book launches much easier. So you want to be doing that stuff anyway. And as long as you're publishing books, like you can get away with doing without it, but you should do it anyway because it just gives you more, it makes it so much easier to be successful with your books. So it's not something you should put off or avoid. Um, you need to develop a business around your persona, your personality. And a lot of that is telling your author story or your creator story in an interesting and impactful way, following the standard hero mythology where you start out um, with a problem and a challenge and trials and tribulations, and eventually you come through and you triumph at the end. Your author bio or your artist bio should read something like that. It should be that kind of a story because people identify with that kind of story, and people want to support you and they want to help you if they know you and if they like you and they trust you and they respect you. And that's something you have to build with time. And it's not necessarily easy, but it's really worth doing because building that kind of a platform where it's not just about the traffic that you're attracting, which is also really important, and it's not just about the product that you're putting out, which is important. Um, it gives you all the power because people who like and trust you, they'll support you no matter what you do. So if you want to start something new, if you want to do coaching, if you want to do events, um, you'll have access to all of these people that you can say, hey, I'm doing something cool. Please share it or tell me what you think about it. Or I'm doing a contest, participate. There's a lot of things you can do developing that kind of online persona. So if you're doing any kind of a creative business, if you're doing the kind of lifestyle business where you're not just teaching other people how to start their own businesses, but you're really creating your own creative content, you're making your own value, you're making your own books or paintings or art. One of the steps to being very successful is to make sure you have a lot of digitalization, which means because otherwise you're going to be limited with the amount of things that you can produce. Like if I could only handwrite a book, then I would have to work for months to write one book and sell that one copy for a lot of money to make it worth my time to spend that much time doing it. But that's why print on demand revolutionized publishing, because we can write one book and it doesn't cost us anything to reprint more copies. When someone buys the book, they pay the printing price. We don't pay it, which means there's no cost to investment. There's no barriers for people to start publishing their own books. For ebooks, there's even less barrier because you can give your book away for free and it doesn't cost you anything. Or you can price it at 99 cents. You can charge whatever you want for it. The same is true for your art. If you're doing prints or paintings or anything like that, you need to make it really easy to also have digital products or print on demand products where people can order posters or t-shirts or whatever kind of product so that you can make some money and your followers can support you um, even if you're not selling the actual thing. And of course the actual thing, like the painting itself, you can sell for a lot more money. With art, interestingly, with books, because books don't cost that much, it's not so important who you are and your author story. But for art, if you're selling high priced art, like $1,000, above $1,000 level paintings, your author story really matters. Your artist story, your artist biography, the story of who you are, why you create, why you made what you made. That's where the value comes from for fine art. So you can take a painting that's really, a five or $1,000 painting and make it into a $10,000 or $20,000 painting based only on your own personal biography and the story of your painting. That's the value. So that's an interesting thing to learn. It's hard to do, and you need other people that other people trust to bridge that gap because people won't just believe you that your art is worth that much money. They have to also trust industry experts. Art and fine art is a really weird, complicated field. I should make another video about that. But the reason I wanted to make this video was to talk about how to start an online business. And I kind of rambled, but it's because I wrote a post recently on my blog Creativity, and I'll link down to it below. And I wanted to talk about some of the points that I might raise because I'm helping these other clients publish books, and I might publish my own book on starting an online business because I actually know a lot about starting an online business, and I've gotten pretty good at doing them quickly, building traffic quickly and making them profitable quickly. So those are skills worth knowing. Quickly, I'll run down this list. You need to pick a service or a product in a small category. So for me, my main platform is book cover design because I was doing fine arts, I was doing publishing. Book cover design is a small enough category that I could really make a name for myself and for my brand as a book cover designer because there's not that much competition. And so I'm not quite there yet. Like if you search book cover design in Google, I would like to be #1 on Google. I'm not there yet, but I'm not that hard to find either. So I get quite a bit of traffic, and I can charge more than average for my book cover services because I get a lot of traffic and because people know who I am. But I couldn't have done that if I picked a more general field or something that was kind of more random or more open-ended. You really have to focus on a small topic. And it's a topic that people want. It's a topic that people are going to pay for, that people need, that people value. Um, so usually something along the lines of helping other people succeed with their goals and what they're trying to do and help them be successful with what they're building because that's what people pay for. Then you need to develop branding that makes you cool and unique. I started an editing company when I was doing my master's in literature, which was general, so we did all kinds of editing, but it wasn't specific enough to attract authors. And I realized that the real money with editing is those big projects because books, a 50,000 word book, if you're charging 2 cents a word, it's $1,000 project. And if you're charging more, it's easy to make it a several $1,000 project that you can do in a couple weeks. And editing can be good money. It's hard and it's tedious, and you need to be really good at English, but it can be good money. But I had this general website and there was too much competition. I couldn't really rank well for something as general as editing, and my brand was too generic. And like professional authors, they don't want to just hire some editing company that also does student papers and essays. So I redid a new site called The Book Butchers, which is very focused on authors, and it's designed in a way that should appeal to mostly fiction authors in a way that most other editing companies aren't. There's still a lot of competition for editing, but now we have a brand that really stands out and is worth noticing and talking about. We don't get a lot of traffic, but we still do pretty good. We've got 10 editors, and that site may make like $20,000 or $30,000 a month soon with just 10 clients a month, which is very doable, even without a lot of traffic. But as my platforms grow, that site's going to get more and more traffic, so it'll just keep growing because the branding is cool and unique. But it wouldn't have happened if I had stuck with something more general. So then you've got your platform, you've got your website, then you need to make excellent free content that gets shared, and that's viral content. And it's tricky, but it's not that tricky. You write articles. There's a WordPress plugin called Title Generator that you can buy, and you just put in the keywords that relate to your topic. So I would put in like book editing or book cover design, and it would generate hundreds of high conversion, clickable, we say clickbait, sort of, just like titles that people have to click because they're usually list posts. So it's like the 10 best cover design secrets you've never heard of, or the 10 best book covers on famous books, or whatever. Just usually list posts like that, they work really well. You write a lot of those articles. You can use that plugin to pump out 100 titles, and then you just write those 100 articles. You put as much content up as you can quickly, and then you share it on social media, on Facebook. You can, if it's really good and you're getting some traffic, like people are liking or commenting on that post, then put it on Facebook and do a boosted post, because then you can target specific people and you can boost those articles to those target audience that might be your clients. It's really hard to do. You can do Facebook advertising, but advertising doesn't work so well when you're building a brand or a business. It might lead to enough clicks, especially if you're selling a higher priced service or product. If you have something worth, over a few $100s and you're paying $1 per click and you have a 10% conversion rate or even like a 1% conversion rate, it might be okay to keep advertising, but people don't share advertising. They're not going to like it or share it on their page or retweet it. And that's what you really need if you want to start getting traffic, is you want to get a lot of likes and shares on social media. You want to get a lot of other people linking to your articles and sharing your articles. You're not going to do that with advertising. You're going to do that with really great, clever list posts about your related to your topic or industry. Like for Creative Castle, I'm building up. I have a platform for the Kickstarter campaign that I'll run hopefully later this year to buy a castle in Europe, and I have a platform. It's a good idea, but I don't have any traffic yet. So to get to the point where I need to be to have a successful Kickstarter campaign, I need to start getting a lot of traffic to that website who sign up to my list. So I have a big email list to launch a successful campaign. To do that, I need to write a lot of these articles that I'm talking about, like 10 best castles in Europe, 10 best co-working spaces, 10 best writers retreats. Those, it doesn't have to be 10, but just, I've also done like 100 or 99 numbered posts. They work really well. The more the better. Add a lot of great pictures. Your site has to be well designed. And if not, I mean, you can also put these same articles um, on Board Panda or um, what's the word? Other big sites that you see a lot of these kind of posts on, that you see on Facebook all the time, where they're always sharing this kind of content. Um, there are a lot of sites you can publish for free just by signing up. You can also contact, and you should contact other big blogs or websites in your industry or your field where your target readers are already hanging out, who have a big platform, and pitch them a guest post. It can't be promotional, it can't be advertising, but if it's a really good, interesting topic that's marginally somehow relevant to your business, then they'll probably take a guest post from you, and that'll give you a link to your website. You need a lot of those links to your website from high power, high traffic blogs so that Google will start trusting you. And then it takes a long time. It takes like a year or two before Google really starts saying, okay, this guy's around for a while, people keep linking to him, it must be a reputable website or service, it's not just crap, and then Google will start sending you more traffic. Those are the things you need to do to start getting traffic. And that's content marketing. Content marketing is really not that difficult, and it's also the only thing that works right now, which is why it's so popular right now. If you search for any kind of marketing, content marketing is like the new big thing. It's because any other old school marketing, like advertisement, doesn't really work anymore, and content marketing does. So you can also run ads or promotions to get your first paying customer. If you're starting out with a new business, you need to get some income. So even if you're paying for it, you can be paying for ads or Facebook or whatever, Google. You don't want to pay too much, and it's got to be profitable, but you can send people to your website to see if they buy. If they don't buy, your offer isn't good enough, or your website isn't good enough, or your price is too high, or you don't have enough social proof. You're going to need a lot of testimonials. I skipped a step, actually. I should add to this blog post that I wrote, but the really important step when you're starting out, you need to get testimonials quickly, and you also need practice. The best way to do it is to contact people in your industry who need your service, even if they don't know they need your service. People who are trusted, who have big platforms. Find a way to help them, offer to help them for free. If they take you up on it, you're very lucky. You work for free, and they'll recommend you. If you do a good job, they'll recommend you, and they'll give you a testimonial for your site, which is really important, and they'll probably link back to you, which will give you tons of new traffic. I've done this for a lot of businesses, and I've only had to reach out to, I mean, really a few, but 5 or 10 would be great, and I'm doing it more and more. We just started a book marketing company that does mostly book launches and author websites. So I just reached out to a bunch of authors who have established blogs with higher page rank and trust reliability scores. And I can just ask them, hey, do you want a free website? Do you want free design? And I've gotten some pretty big best-selling authors who I'm going to help remake their websites for free. In return, I get a testimonial and a link back to my site, which means I'll be able to launch this business from zero to profitable, in less than a month, because I'll suddenly rank my website really quickly. I'll get all these powerful backlinks, and I'll have testimonials from best-selling authors on my site. And I mean, we do a great service, and it's a very reasonable price, so it's not going to be a hard sale. And That's the kind of thing you need to be doing when you start, is to get those testimonials. You need to be doing free work. You need to be finding people you can do free work for, because the free work you do for them, it's worth more than other people paying you money. Because if people just pay you money, you do the work and then it's done, but they might not recommend you. Although there are ways, when you have clients, you always want to have like a form they can fill out when they're done that says, are you happy? Would you recommend us to other people? You want to have them thinking about that process, um, so that they can conceptualize, so that they can think, oh, yes, I am pretty happy. Oh, maybe I should recommend them to other people. You want to have that process in place to get them thinking about recommending you. And you want to ask for testimonials and reviews. And you want to ask them to share when they can. But you do that by doing exceptional work and over delivering value for what they've paid. So that's part of running a successful business. That's kind of, I mean, you've got to produce the right value. You've got to make your clients happy. That's basically what I wrote about in this blog post, and what I'll probably write about if I write this book, which will be something like Start a Profitable Online Business in 24 Hours or Less with No Money from Home. Anyway, I'm Derek Murphy. I run creativity.com. You can follow my videos, which I'm just starting to do. This is like my 100th, but I had 0 like a month ago. So I'm forcing myself to do a lot of videos because I need to be doing longer in-depth courses and videos that I can actually show people exactly how to build author platforms, how to design books, how to market. Because just writing about it wasn't enough. I put out several books and they're helpful. People like them, but it's not enough. And talking about it is not really enough. I really need to be showing you the nitty gritty, how to sign up for hosting, how to customize your WordPress site, how to design a logo. That's the type of stuff I can do with videos that I haven't been able to do in the past. So that's kind of exciting. But if you're interested in building a profitable, creative online business, selling more paintings or books, creativity in general, or making money in general, or other things like that, you can follow me or visit my blog or subscribe to my videos. Thanks. Bye bye.